stuff. Cool. Very cool. So we have like, this is Jedi training. I forgot what species this is. It's like the Rio monkey species, I guess. This is probably going to be a very exciting scene, including since this is High Republic stuff, and we never got this before. Now, this is like a Jedi or Sith. I'm not really sure. Force user. Now, I don't know what this is. Like, the image is blurred. I forgot what this is called, but, like, of course it's a girl, and also he's fighting some kind of Jedi, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And then here's another scene of the fight. I think this is, like, people shouting. Like, I'm not really sure. The Acolyte show. And then we just have another scene. I'm not sure what's happening here. This is Chinese or Korean actor playing a Jedi. I forgot what this Jedi's called. Just another scene that looks like they're trying to make out. But it's like a fight scene. It seems like we're going to some kind of snowy planet. It's unknown what this is. Definitely not Hoth since, yeah. It's probably going to be some kind of snowy planet. But I'm not sure which one because there's like a lot. And here's a more like expanded scene of the little younglings training. Here's another scene, like, okay, I forgot what this Jedi is called. I think it's just a new one. Didn't appear in the games. I don't know what scene this is like. But it seems like some kind of white dude, like probably another Jedi. Or the two twins.
To talk about Star Wars The Acolyte.
A little bit, yes, but I'm like, I don't know what I can talk about. Like, everybody in here saw the thing, but I'm like, can I talk about the thing?
Okay, so let's talk about the thing a little bit. How does that compare? What you saw, do you feel like that is an accurate representation of what we're going to see? Is it a little bit misleading? Are there still some tricks? What was it like to see that? How does it fall in line with what you think we're going to see in The Acolyte?
That feels like a trick question.
I would never. What was it like to watch that footage, though, with the crowd and with it,
That was thrilling. I mean, to hear them, like, screaming, to feel, like, their energy. I mean, I saw it for the first time yesterday when we rehearsed, and I was just like, oh my god, chills, oh my god.
That last shot with all the lightsabers.
So cool.
So cool.
Honestly, even in person, like, it is so cool to see those fucking things light up.
So when it's on set, when that's happening on set, I mean, is it like the new one at Disney World that's like growing out of the tube or whatever? Is it like a bit, what does a lightsaber look like on set?
No, on set, it's like a long, like, light thing. And then, like, somebody controls it to, like, turn the light on.
So it's somebody else who's lighting it up.
I think.
That's crazy.
I actually don't know how they work. I'm gonna be honest, I actually don't know.
We'll figure it out in season 2.
No, we'll figure it out in season 2.
What was the biggest thing that you felt you had to train for, that you had to learn more than anything you've done on a different project for The Acolyte?
You know, I think it's more about, like, understanding your place inside of the whole context. That is something that you kind of have to train your mind to, because it's not, you know, when you're doing fantasy, you know, it's like, you really have to, like, get yourself in the state of mind of, like, okay, what world am I playing in? It's not as straightforward as something else, you know, but it's also, like, obviously it's grounded, but, you know, it's heightened. It's like, it's a whole new world.
I can't wait to enter that whole new world. Thank you so much for taking the time, and congratulations. The show looks incredible.
Thank you, even though you tried to trick me.
I would never try to trick you into giving me information. Angela, welcome to Star Wars Celebration in the Star Wars universe. The footage we just saw for The Acolyte in that presentation was, I don't know anybody else here, but it was my favorite thing we saw in there. It was so, so good. What was it like for you to see that for the first time, and does it fall in line with kind of how you expected it to look and sound and feel when you saw it?
It's not the first time that I've seen it. I begged Leslie Headland to show it to me before today because I knew that I was probably going to keel over if I didn't have any kind of forewarning. So I have watched it before, but when I watched it the other day in the tent for the first time, and we spend so much time in front of green screens, on a lot of amazing, beautiful practical sets, but you can't necessarily wrap your head around what it's going to look like visually when it's put together. All you can really put your faith in is your character and what you know about them emotionally, and so when you see it come together, it's a trip. And you're like, I don't know, I think watching it for the first time, I'm like, oh my god, I really am in Star Wars, okay?
You are!
Yeah.
It's so good. So you mentioned your character. What can you tell me about your character? Who are you playing? What's their role in this Star Wars world that you're allowed to share so far?
Like, Disney's gonna kill me if I say anything.
Nobody's watching. It's just us here.
Oh, I've heard that before. What I can say is that she is a character who is attempting to respect the place she comes from, and doing it in a world that doesn't necessarily placate her, doesn't exist for her, and so she's struggling morally and ethically.
I think that's enough for us to start theorizing a little bit here. Manny, welcome to Star Wars Celebration. The Acolyte just stole the show down there. I mean, it was an awesome presentation. Lots of things looked cool, but this is the number one thing after seeing all that footage.
Oh, man. Thanks, dude.
So what was it like? I just saw it for the first time. I loved it. You worked on it. You brought this to life. What was it like to see that footage for the first time, and how did it compare to what you expected after working on it?
I mean, you work on something and you're just in a bubble. You work on it for months and months, and you don't know if it's going to be any good. But once I got to see it with Leslie, it was like opening Christmas presents. It was like that feeling of pure joy, basically. Because I mean, look at her right now. She's just like
life of the party.
She's the feelings. Like all the feelings balled into a human being, whether it be joy or ecstasy. It's just, she's the captain, and I will follow her to the end of the earth.
I love that. I mean, it sounds like there's a lot of love between the filmmakers and the cast on this one. It sounds like a really good time. What do the characters all think of each other? Can you give me any sort of tease of what the dynamics might be like between the Jedi at this point?
I mean, the Jedi are in power. I mean, it's the High Republic. They're cruising along, doing their thing, and it's just a new world that we haven't seen the Jedi in before. So it's like, what happens when the power dynamics switch? Like when you have the Jedi running things, who's on the other side, looking out? So I think that's the question that we're trying to answer.
Man, I can't wait to see it. Thank you so much for coming by. I hope to talk to you when the show comes out. Jay, welcome to the Star Wars universe. The footage we saw was incredible. I'd love to hear, what can you tell me about this Jedi Master that you're bringing to life?
제다이 마스터에 대해서 생명을 물었는데 어떻게 생각하세요?
With colors this vibrant, there's an Oral-B for every style.
이 흥분되고 기쁜 것도 있지만 이 프레셔도 굉장히 강한 것 같아요. 잘 표현하고 싶고, 그리고 또 많은 스타워즈 팬들과 함께 정말 새로운 것을 함께 만들어 나가는 그러고 싶은 마음으로 정말 스타워즈에 지금까지 나왔었던 그 작품들을 계속 다시 보고 또 보면서 저희가 지금 찍고 있는 그 스타워즈 연대기의 앞에 있는 지금 그 시기를 지금 저희가 찍고 있는데, 그러려고 하다 보니까 스타워즈를 더 많이 계속 더 반복적으로 더 계속 보면서 저게 저런 의미가 있었구나, 저때 저런 사건이 있었구나, 이것을 계속 이제 확인하면서 또 연기에 대한 또 그런 부분도 있어서 예전에는 모르고 지나갔었던 그 스타워즈 스토리, 그 캐릭터의 어떤 그런 감정 이런 것들을 요즘에 또 다시 또 저게 저런 게 있었구나 그러면서 또 준비를 해 나가는 과정이 또 제 큰 재미 중에 하나입니다.
Yes, I am feeling exciting and really feeling the joy, but I'm definitely feeling the pressure in playing this role because I'm making this together with the Star Wars family. So what we're doing, what I'm doing is really watching the previous works again and again because this era is covering before all the other eras. So I watch these films on repeat and I think, oh yes, that happened then. Oh yes, that has that meaning. Ah yes, that happened then. And so I'm constantly checking and trying to act accordingly. 마지막 부분이 기억이 안 나는데. Strong characters. So I'm just checking all the characters beforehand, thinking, oh, that's what it meant beforehand. So taking into consideration what I had missed beforehand.
And speaking of being a fan of Star Wars and the rich history that is there, what was it like? What was it like for you? Did it live up to expectations to be immersed in that world? Did anything really surprise you after being a little bit familiar with it through watching it on repeat, like you said?
좀 기대하셨던 거 그거 충족이 되셨나요? 이 역할에 들어가실 때 이제 이 스타워즈에 대한 기대감이 있으셨는데 이제 이런 뭐 연출이나 이런 시나리오에 대해서 이제 들어가실 때 기대를 하셨나요?
사실 스크립트를 다 그러니까 캐스팅이 되기 전까지는 스크립트를 다 볼 수가 없었어요. 그래서 캐스팅이 이제 다 된 다음에 스크립트를 볼 수 있게 되었는데 그때 많이 놀랐습니다. 이야기가 굉장히 반전이 많고 그 다음에 굉장히 궁금증과 캐릭터 간의 감동들이 굉장히 많아서 일단 스크립트를 보고서 굉장히 놀랐고 또 그러면서 만족을 굉장히 하게 됐고요. 그리고 또 막상 또 촬영하느라고 이제 세트장에 와서 이제 촬영을 하는데 그 세트장의 그 규모와 그 세트장의 그 디테일함이 굉장히 큰 충격이었어요. 와, 이렇게까지 완벽하게 준비를 해서 이렇게까지 완벽하게 다 만들어서 촬영을 하는구나라는 것에 정말 큰 충격이었습니다. 그래서 뭐 지금 뭐 매일 그런 촬영 현장을 보면서 놀래고 있습니다. 매일 그런 촬영 현장을 보면서 놀래고 있습니다.
I couldn't read the script until all the casting were complete, and after that I was really surprised in a really good way, and all the characters had different depths of emotions and depth and lots of twists, and so I was satisfied from that front. And then shooting on set, I was just amazed at the size, the vast size and the detail of everything, and I was in great shock. Sorry, I need to move the mic a little bit. Yeah, it was a great shock because it was almost to perfection, and daily as I go in I'm just constantly in awe.
Wow, I can't wait to see it. Thank you so much. Charlie, we just saw the first look at the Acolyte at the Star Wars Celebration panel just downstairs and like a mile away down the same building. It's really far. But that footage was in place, yeah. I was not ready. I would have wore different shoes. I know, get comfortable. Come on now. But that footage was incredible. Was that your first time seeing it?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so having seen it now, how does seeing it compare to what you expected based on working on the Acolyte?
Look, I'll tell you too, when you're standing on that stage, it's the vibrations of the sound coming out. It was like full goosebumps just running up my shoulder. I am blown away. I'm thrilled now to see. There's so much of it too that, you know, as castmates we don't get to see on any project that you work on. So, you know, I'm a fan on top of the fact that I don't know what's to come on this show.
And seeing that little clip is just like, I need it now. I can't wait till 2024. Come on now.
I know, like just roll what you have. We don't care if it's unfinished.
Episode.
So what can you tell me? What can you tell me about your character? What are you allowed to say? What can we learn from you?
Absolutely nothing.
I knew it.
Yeah, right. I can say that I am. I'm like racking my brain to see what. I can say that I'm a Jedi. I'm a knight. For all the true fans out there. I can say that I have some really cool hair. I wish I had it right now. I'm gonna grow it out right after this. And that is about it.
How does one learn to be a Jedi Knight? What is the training for that like?
Look, the coolest part about our show, about Acolyte, is that we have a wide variety of Jedi. You get to see the expansion of not just filling into one void of this kind of all-being great power. You see us as more human, truly, and creature, and alien, all of them included, because there is such a large group in the High Republic era. From that, I can't say, there's so many things I keep coming to that I'm like, don't say it, Charlie, don't get yourself trouble.
Right, so I'll end it with this. Don't get fired. We're hoping for season 2, I'm hoping it's a Star Wars world. So let me just say, what was the kind of moment, was there a moment that stood out to you that you were on set, you looked around and you're like, I'm in Star Wars?
Day one, probably, honestly. Gosh, getting into the costume was a huge one. Wielding the lightsaber was another giant one. Seeing the creatures that they build, from the Star Wars Lucas kind of environment brought onto set and getting to interact with them as an actor, huge one. And two, so much work that goes into them, really. It's just like to see that behind the scenes is like another level of insane, amazing artistic ability.
The lightsabers you use, are those like the ones that we can go buy, like the high-end, is it, what,
it's like a mini Lexus, y'all. They are quite expensive. They come in private briefcases. And it was terrifying. Look, I'll give you a little. Daphne broke about 3 of them, so
it comes out of Daphne's paycheck.
Yeah.
Rebecca, welcome to Star Wars Celebration.
Brandon.
Thank you. The Acolyte footage was stunning. It was
really like it.
Imagine each other. That was incredible, especially the end with the lightsabers. Oh my god. So what's it like to see that for the first time? And does it kind of fall in line with what you expected after working on the show, or was it surprising to you to see it all polished up like that?
Well, I've actually seen it several times because I am married to Leslie Headland. So, but I will say that every time I see it, I am very moved. And hearing it with seeing it with the crowd behind me, because we all turned and looked at the screen, was amazing. The moments that they were like, it was so cool.
It was, we had that moment ourselves. Okay, I want to hear about, because there's so many Jedi here, I would like to hear about the relationship that the Jedis are, what can you say, the kind of interpersonal relationships that the Jedi themselves, what is the dynamic like, where are they at in their lives, in their journeys, and in their community?
Gosh, that's a good question. I feel like I don't know how much I can talk about what's happening with the Jedi. I can tell you that I play an elder Jedi Master who is very powerful, a Mary Allen, and I have many scenes with Li Zhangzhe, who was born to play a Jedi.
I can't wait to see it.
He truly was.
What's the question nobody's asking you, but you can actually answer?
Oh my God, what a nightmare. There's a question that I'm scared people are going to ask me, but nobody has asked me yet.
What is it? I won't ask.
It was so innocent.
I'll tell the next guy.
I can't.
Okay, but
you can ask Leslie, though. She's coming.
Okay.
She'll tell
so let me ask you this then.
She knows everything.
I would think so.
She knows everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You got the mythology on lock. I love that. Okay, so did you get to hold a lightsaber like many of the cast members did? And if so,
yes.
What was it like? Because I was saying how, you can go to Disney World and get a plastic one, or you can order a $300 one, and they have their different weight and their different quality. What's it like the real one? Yeah. What's that like?
I'm like, am I allowed to answer this? We trained a lot with the lightsabers, and it's cool. The whole being a part of the world in general is just amazing. Being in the Jedi robes is amazing. Being in the Jedi Temple is amazing. Being here is amazing. That's just a fact,
Dean, welcome to Star Wars Celebration. Fresh off the panel, that footage was incredible. What was it like to see that footage for the first time, and how does that compare to the expectation you might have had after working on the show?
Charlie. Yeah, man, it's incredible. It's my first Star Wars celebration, and I've never been a part of anything where I get to see a fan reaction up close. So we showed the clip at the panel, and hearing the screams and roars and laughter. It was a really good experience. Yeah, I can't wait for everybody to see it.
So what can you tell me about your role in the show? If any, I know everybody, we can't say anything, but can you give me any sort of introduction to your character, your role in the Acolyte?
It's not much I can say. I can't give a character name or anything like that, but I do play a Jedi, which for me, my inner kid was just loving every minute of it. Still, I have to pinch myself. It's incredible.
What's the secret? Because like I've held the lightsaber that you can buy from all of them, the little plastic one you can get at Disney World to like the $300 one that's got the Kylo Ren. You know, they got different weight to them. They all got different lights and effects. The lightsaber that you're holding on set. Describe that to me. Describe that moment when you see it, when you use it. Feels it heavy? Is it like, come on?
I was actually really surprised at how heavy it was.
Really?
Yeah, really heavy. And when you get to wield them around, there's actually like a little pole on the end of it, and they're quite long. So you feel like you have to look over your shoulder if you're wielding it around. But incredible. Yeah, great fun.
Awesome, man. Well, I can't wait to see it, Dean. Thank you so much for coming by to talk. Thanks.